We've got a fresh piece of detail coming in when it comes to Shraddha and her life before it was brutally ended and abruptly so. Now, Times now has access some of her pictures when her life she used to be normal, because remember, her friends have been telling us time and again that there was a time that she used to keep in touch with all of them, but it was only after a point in her relationship with Aaftab that she had become a secluded person, that she had lost contact, she'd lost touch with her friends. And Meghna now joins us from the newsroom with some of those images.
We are going to get in her happier times, and it's very unfortunate that it had to end like this. This is a picture of her. It seems to be one of the college trips. These are the friends of Shraddha that we are going to highlight for you as well. But this is Shraddha there in the midst of her friends, enjoying herself along with her friends, and it's unfortunate that this young life had to be snuffed out in this manner. Reminds us what really could have been a life that could have really yielded a lot, but for her this unfortunately was one of the last few times when her friends, many of them who've spoken to us, tell her that they lost track of Shraddha and she never kept in touch with them. We are going to show you the rest of the pictures as well, but these are Shraddha in happier times when she was in college. It is from 2018 that we had the pictures. Now these pictures aren't moving, so we are going to be getting these pictures to get you the rest of the pictures as well, and open up where we have closer shots.
While we sort that out, Meghna, let me just once again go to Priyank, because Priyank is highlighting one of the very important aspects of the bills that we were showing, in fact, earlier. Priyank, you were pointing it out that everything that has been ordered is in duplicate. What do you think that means?
This means that someone was also coming to the house, because if you see the classic chicken burger which is mentioned, it is showing the quantity one, then another one. So the total amount is 309. The next food order is also into 1-in-1 format, which is clearly giving indication that it was not, Aaftab only who was living in the house. So probably those female friends of Aaftab, whenever they used to come back home, come to his house to flaunt himself, to show that he is a very happy-go-lucky man. These kind of food delivery apps were used by Aaftab. I'm sorry. So these kind of gory picture, I would say, even
Right, we'll try and get Priyank back online, because remember, there is a lot of media attention on this case, which is why outside the court, where in about a minute from now, in fact, any time now, the court proceedings are going to start, there is a network issue. But if I can update my viewers, there is not just one case that is going to take place. We are now being told that there are simultaneous hearings that are going to be taking place in two courts. There is court number 8, where police's application for a narco test is also going to be taken up. Remember, police had applied for narco analysis of Aaftab to figure out if there is something that he has been hiding from the police, something that in his subconscious state he might come up with, which could help in putting together the pieces of evidence and corroborating the statements that he has been making. But even as we await for those two hearings to start and developments to start pouring in, what you see on your screens right now are images of a happy Shraddha. These are from back in 2018. Meghna now tells us more about these visuals.
Well, yes, this is one of the pictures that we are getting for us. This is Shraddha in the midst of her friends. These are happier times. These pictures date back to 2018 when Shraddha was a college girl. This is her with her friends in happier times. This before the toxic relationship that she entered. This young girl had a bright future ahead of her. This is her enjoying her time. It seems to be like a college picnic that some of her friends have shared with us. These are the pictures of her from 2018 when she used to have friends, when she was in a happy, carefree phase of her life. For that life to be snuffed out, and that too in such a barbaric manner, is heart-wrenching to say the least. These are all her friends who have now been telling us how they lost touch with Shraddha. They tell us that she used to be part of a large group as well, but slowly and steadily Shraddha stopped being in touch with her friends. She stopped keeping in touch with all her friends. There are her friends who said that she was in a toxic relationship, how she would tell one of her friends how she was being thrashed by Aaftab. There were her friends who were telling her, you must leave, because this is the kind of life she enjoyed before Aaftab came into her life. This is a picture of a happy girl, a girl who had a huge friend circle, a girl who had a life beyond the macabre that we have been witnessing. It's important for us to remember, she was a young girl. She had a bright future ahead of her. These are her with her friends. For her to meet this kind of a barbaric end is heart-wrenching. This girl's life literally has been snuffed out. The barbaric details, the macabre aside,
Yes.
she could have had a free life. She enjoyed a good life before that. Before everything went downhill, she met Aaftab. And then we all know what happened.
Right, in 2018, she was in Mumbai. This is where she had come in contact with Aaftab via a dating app. Both of them were based out of Mumbai at that point in time. Later, shifted to Delhi, which happened in May this year, and only within 10 days of shifting, Shraddha had been butchered. Times Now has been speaking to several of her friends who have also detailed how Shraddha went on from being an outgoing person who had a really close-knit circle of friends to somebody who was more secluded and had on more than one occasion shared with her friends that she wasn't happy with the relationship. And sensationally, one of the friends also told us that the only reason why she continued to stay in a relationship that had clearly turned toxic is because Aaftab had been emotionally blackmailing her. Every single time there would be a fight and she would think of leaving him, he would come back with threats of suicide, is what one of the friends that we spoke to has told us. And in fact, a testimony to the fact that she really had a close-knit group of friends is because if it were not for them, Aaftab could have gotten away with this murder, because remember, she had already cut off ties with the family. It was only when one of the friends realized that she hadn't been keeping in touch that they flagged it off to the family, after which the probe first began. Listen in